Today. Uh, I'm trying to do things properly, you know. I guess you guys saw my little pre-shot. That was 4 minutes ago. I did to let you guys know that I was coming. This won't take long. I'm not gonna stay on long. I'm really not a morning person, to be honest with you. You know, um, my morning is consumed by making my coffee, listening to my jazz, and having my smoke. But because I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, I was told that this is the way to go. You know, not 9:30. So I'm earlier than I had planned to be. Uh, I want to make sure. See, I even have to have myself in the live stream because people haven't got used to the idea of me being here yet. And so my clientele is somewhat limited. I don't know if this was, oh, this was 10 hours ago. No, this is not even the right one. Boop, bop, beep, boop, bop. And I guess it hasn't come up for everybody yet, so that's fine. Anyway, forgive me for being rude. I haven't even introduced myself. My name is W.C., and I'm a content creator, and I teach beginner course, midterm, and advanced classes in YouTube conduct and content creating. And in order to make that plain, I just tell you how to get started. You know, everybody does their own way. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about the American dream. You know, there are 100 different ways that you can do whatever you decide you want to do on YouTube. And like I said, you've heard me say plenty of times, I'm not into gimmicks. I don't believe in fake TV, none of that. But I mean, people make millions of dollars doing that stuff. How you gonna knock it? Anything that's successful, how you gonna knock it? Unless, of course, it hurts somebody, or it really sends out the wrong message to society to like be, you know, very, very non-caring, cynical, dispassionate, uh, untrustworthy, mischievous, harmful to your fellow man and your surroundings. Then, yeah, some people might not even have a problem with that. I would have a problem with that. So, because like like I always say, you know, you get what you put into a situation. That's what you get out of it. And the effect, the cause and effect thing is on high alert when you get so desperate that you're willing to do anything to get your YouTube channel off the ground. And thank God, you know, in the midst of my prayers, I can say if I had 1,000 tongues, I couldn't thank him enough for all my blessings that I have received. And they have been too numerous. They like the sands, they like the sands and all the beaches in all the worlds. I'm just, you know, oh, don't get me wrong. I do have my challenges, but I thank God. Most of my problems only peace of mind and money. The rest of it, you know, it's more difficult, you know. But like me and my mom used to always say, if you just got money problems, then you ain't got no problems. If you keep living, you're going to have some money. But I digress. I'm getting off the subject. The subject for today is trends. Oh no, that is right on point what I'm saying. Like people have a trend and they follow it. YouTube in the skateboarders, pardon me, YouTube has a trend setting thing where they say, you want to follow the trend? You know, this is what's going on. Uh, I did that occasionally. You know, I mean, I still do it once in a while. If I see something I really like that's funny, or you know, it's amusing, um, beautiful dance or something like that, and you know, you got any kind of artistic flavor in it, I might get involved. And funny stuff, I love funny stuff. You know, and sometimes you know trends could just depend on the current events, you know, like the news or whatever. But will the question is, the topic for today is, will that trend hurt your channel? And if you use it, is it worth, you know, like setting yourself up to like just follow that and hope that everything works out for the best? And what is the results you want to look for when you're setting trends or when you're trying to set a trend? Do you want to cause a flood of panic? Do you want an avalanche of fear or comedy? Or are you out to just amuse, which is usually just it's harmless. It's harmless to be amused. But when you start thinking about people who walk through colleges with bomb threats, I'm sorry, uh, on the speaker saying, "Okay, we're gonna wipe you guys out," or whatever, and then you got utter chaos and people running everywhere. That's not amusing to me, you know. Um, or let's say you got a thing about, you know, just whatever, grabbing somebody's ass and, you know, or something, you know, just whatever, you know, throwing paint on somebody's car. And actually, it's removable paint. Yeah, okay, it'll come off. But just scaring the daylights out of somebody, you know, like snatching their purse and then coming back and then say it was a prank, or cussing them out, or acting like you got a gun. That's crazy stuff. They got a skateboarder. You know. We can count on the skateboarders around here to make noise. No, I'm just kidding. Um, that kind of stuff, it might get you rich. It might gain views. You know, you might get a lot of action out of all that. But do you really want to live with the repercussions? You know, and is it worth your views, your channel going viral, or your views, your membership and your views shooting through the roof? Is it worth it? And even if it was worth it, how far are you willing to take it? And are you ready to deal with the consequences? You know, because karma is a mother for you. And like I always say, whatever you put out there, you will get back. And the best laid plans of mice and men often come undone. See, I know a few things. So you might plan to be joking and somebody take you seriously, and that's it. All right? Nobody wants that. I mean, I hope that everybody is safe if that's the gimmick or the technique that they're using. I hope they try to remember that there are a lot of serious people in the world, and they're going through a lot of serious issues, and you might be the only one that feel like making a joke today. And whereas somebody might say, you know, you're really funny. Why don't you take that act on the road? I'm sure somebody gonna be amused because I'm not, you know. And then somebody coming out and going pew pew. Now say it. You know, be careful, young people. All right, I'm 67 years old. My channel is meant to get you to my point. And because the longer you hear, the more opportunities you have to make a difference in whatever, you know, be it global peace, racism, inventing something beautiful, or figuring out a way for us to all get along and be a family. But without the young people, it ain't happening. So we got to make sure we give them the right direction, you know. And if you ain't got nothing nice to say, like Master P said, then don't say nothing at all. Keep your mouth shut. And you know, he got that from somebody old school, I guarantee you, because I've been hearing that all my life. Um, but I digress. Now, will it hurt your channel? Depends on how you do it. I mean, I try, and I'm sure you'll find some of my videos, you know, that have to do with dance and you know arts and jokes and you know whatever's current. You know, like Bougie came out with that country. Oh, oh. I no, he said going to the bar sipping on something. I forget. I got that one and all that, and that thing didn't take off with my audience. My audience likes old school stuff and R&B and yeah, I don't know if I got too many country people on my live stream on my in my audience. You know, so they didn't gravitate toward that. You know, but that's the trend. That was the trend. I look back in the '80s and stuff like that and find stuff, and it's not really the trend, but I created it as a trend, and next thing you know, boom, you know, everybody wants to know, oh, where'd you get that video? You know, and it works for me, but it may not work for you. You know, like so if all your people are country people, or if all your people like flowers, and you start running videos about beer, you know, how to brew beer. I hear a lot of people talking about that. Uh, if you have a fashion channel and you get into politics real heavy and start talking about uh, wars and rumors of wars, if you got a small channel, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I'll be honest with you. If it's big enough, maybe you shooting yourself in the toe. But once you lose them toes, they're pretty hard to replace. And I'm talking metaphysically. I'm not talking about really. Uh, so be careful about trends. If you're lucky enough to find one that your people like, and you know they gravitate toward it, and the only way you're going to be able to tell that is if you get a lot of views. Uh, yeah, let it sit, but make sure you explain to your regular constituents, hey, you know, I want to try this, and maybe they have sympathy for you, and they'll you know they'll deal with it for a while, and then you know peel off of it, or maybe they might end up liking it. You don't know. But at the end of the day, you got to make people happy in order for them to come to your page. And if they don't see what they like, they're not going to be happy. And they're not coming to your page. So get used to it. You know, do it. Feeding the public what they want. You know, unless of course it doesn't mean anything to you, which it doesn't mean that much to me because I'm happy with what I'm doing, and it just so happens that the people that are with me, I'm not flexing. I just happen to be in a group that like R&B. You know, I just happen to be in a group that likes current music, and like to know what, like Empress says, who's spilling the tea. You know, all that. And me and my wife, we both like fashion and checking out the Grammys and stuff like that. And one day we hope to be screenwriters. You know, we always end up figuring out what the who the protagonist is, what the plot is, and how it's going in. Before we even watch stuff, we figure it out. And so one day, if we ever get the money, we're gonna start taking classes and write us something, you know. And I bet it blow up because people who like something or people who really admire something and they put their all into it, usually it's a work of art. And it may not be something everybody can catch on to right away, but and you don't have to cut your ear off like Picasso to get people to like your stuff. But sometimes it just takes a little while. So just be patient, you know. And I'm not gonna keep you long. I've been on 15 minutes. I still got people. I normally will not leave unless I have less than 1 or 0. I won't leave. But I know I was up all last night and I got to be slowing down a little bit. My wife walked in and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. She said, honey, you haven't stretched out all day. Why don't you get some sleep? The other day before that, she said, your head is buried in that screen. And You know, when you're right, you're right. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna lie. My eyelids felt like lead. All right, and all I did was kick my shoes off and said, "All right, honey, hit that light." I was tired, and I woke up this morning and my eyes still feel like they need to be closed, but I'm not tired anymore. I still got some things to do, but you know how you can tell when your eyes are tired because you feel that heaviness around your eyelid. Honey, did you take care of the cat? Oh, thank God. All right. So with that said, uh, trends, totally up to you. You're taking your chance. Oh Lord, honey, both of the windows are open and he's sitting outside. Please get up now and do something. Yeah, I know I sound like I'm panicking. That's the only time she'll really move. No, we don't want him to get hurt because he's really not our cat. We just let him come and visit. Thank you, honey. I didn't mean to sound like I was about to have a heart attack.
You could have got up.
I could have, but then I would have had to leave my viewers. Come on, don't debate with me right now. I don't want to fight in front of the screen.
I will always debate with you.
Got that right.
If I don't debate with you, then you know something's wrong.
She got a point. Anyway, I love that you guys dropped by. I see I got 3 visitors. I didn't want to open up the chat because I know if I do, I'm going to start talking, and the next thing you know, I'll be on all day. And I want to save my strength for later on tonight. So if you want to get a comeback return thing from me, I see I got 3 people. I'm getting ready to break the rules and cut my chat off. If you want, stop by my channel. I'm not so big where I won't even answer a message. You know, I frequent pages with hundreds of thousands of people. I like popular people, but they have millions of subscribers. And I leave a message, and sometime in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why won't they answer my text? They're not gonna answer your text. Thank God I'm small enough. I can answer anybody's text. All right. Leave me a message. I'll get back to you, and hopefully I'll stop by your channel and see what you're all about. And if I like where you're coming from, and I like your material, and I think it's some space somewhere in between there where we can sit down and have some dialect, and I can help you or you help me, then yeah, I will subscribe. So yeah, because takes a village, man. We all big one family. I mean, we're all one family, you know, in this big village. All right. So with that said, I like to say, look at my cigarette finger. That's terrible, huh? I smoke too much. Take care of yourself. Don't be like me, W.C. I smoke a pack a day, damn near. So you can take care of each other. All right? You can't take care of nobody if you can't take care of yourself. Ain't that right, honey? She ain't listening to me. She oh, now she said, because she knew I was getting ready to pull her whole card on that one. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Your big brother, W.C. Peace.